Hey lovelies, welcome back. This week I want to talk about a request, which is the simple question, what do you do when you don't know what to do? And there's a few things that I think is helpful to recognize when we talk about this subject. And sorry if my throat is a bit scratchy today. I woke up and it's sore, but I'm refusing to say that it's the S word. So definitely not sick, but I just have a bit of a scratchy throat if my voice is sounding a bit weird. If we don't know what to do, what do we do? Well, there's three things that are really important to look at. The first one is that the stakes are never as high as our mind tells us they are, like ever. Unless there's probably 1% of decisions that actually have really, really high stakes, are very, very irreversible. They're, what we could call life or death situations. Most of the time, like 99% of the time, we're not even close to that. And we're thinking more about, do I stay in this relationship or do I find someone else? Do I stay in this job? Do I leave this job? Where do I go on vacation? Where should I move? What should I do with this situation with this person? Very regular human things. And in that context, what we have to recognize is that the stakes aren't as high as we think they are. Meaning our minds will say, yeah, this is really important. If you get this wrong, if you are meant to stay in this relationship and you leave, then, oh my God, your life's going to be ruined. Or if you move to this location, or if you try this job, or if you, whatever we do, it makes it seem like that's going to be so irreversible and so detrimental to our health and well-being. And that's just not true because of two things. One, the future is an incomplete equation. We simply don't know what's going to unfold, what's going to happen. We're not fortune tellers. And the second main reason is because when we're looking at stuff like good and bad, those are judgment calls that our mind makes. That's a mind saying, this outcome is bad, this outcome is good. This situation is bad, this situation is good. This shouldn't have happened like this. And how many times, I know for myself, I'm probably in the thousands now, maybe even tens of thousands. How many times have I, sworn this shouldn't have happened, or I didn't want this to happen, only to find out that, a day, a week, a month, a year later, oh my God, I can totally see that needed to happen. I can totally see the blessing in that, or the lesson in that, or the grace in that, or whatever it is. And looking at that, looking at the fact that our judgments are really arbitrary, they're just what the mind can see in the moment with its limited information. It's not the big perspective. It's not the big picture bird's eye view. It's just what our thought is in the moment. Kind of takes us out of being really serious about, oh no, if I make this decision, I know that it's going to go like this, and I know it's going to be bad, and I know that badness is actually true, and that's actually lasting and permanent. Looking back, we can see that our track record for that is pretty shit. And there's so many times when we've had something that we've labeled as bad, inconvenient, awful in the moment that has turned out to be needed, or something we're grateful for, or something that is so eye-opening, and we're like, oh my God, if that hadn't happened, then this wouldn't have happened, and everything works out beautifully. The second main thing to consider with decisions is that even when we say, I don't know what to do, and trust me, I feel like that a lot of the time, that I'm in this state of like, I don't know, the decision's not clear and obvious, but on some level we do know. On some level, we know what feels more like the heart and what feels more like the head. It's not always a black and white. It's not always a very clear, very obvious thing, or we would know what to do. We wouldn't say that we don't know. But on some level, we know what one feels a little bit more right, a little bit more loving, a little bit more like us, a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more common sense, a little bit more just beautiful and congruent and aligned, and what doesn't. So if this is you thinking, either you're the person who requested this, or you're just anyone who's interested in this, because we're all human and we all have times we don't know what to do, going back to, well, maybe I do know. Maybe I'm, caught between things. Maybe I'm a little bit scared. Maybe I'm a little bit, my mind's busy. It's telling me a bunch of stuff. It's giving me pros and cons lists. But deep down, I kind of do know. I kind of do know what feels a little bit more like me and a little bit more like what's the next step. And the third thing to consider is just that it's okay to make mistakes and get things wrong. Like, let's say you really don't know, and let's say you really are like, no, it's a dead tie. I can't tell which decision is a heart-based decision and which one's not, and there is really big stakes, and it does really matter, and I am going to look back and say, this is awful, this shouldn't have happened, and mean it a year from now. Then so what? Because we get infinite new chances. That is the beauty of the way we're designed. We have fresh thought coming up in us all the time. We have new ideas. We have new inspiration. We have new insight. Different things happen in the world. Different things, our perspective shifts. And we get these do-overs. So it's okay to make mistakes. Like, I used to be, and I made a video on this a few months ago, I used to be super averse to mistakes and held this really control freak perfectionist view of life because I was so scared that mistakes meant something about me and that they were kind of unfixable and that they were, just these really important, really bad things. Like, don't make mistakes. Mistakes are terrible. And now I'm kind of like, so what? Make mistakes. Like, not like, our mind will tell us, it will give us these scenarios and these situations in which a mistake is so detrimental and so permanent. And if you look back on your past, really, really look, you'll see that you've made mistakes. You're not perfect. Your track record of perfect decisions is not 100%, and yet you're fine. And you're still here, and you're still able to make different choices, and you're still able to get access to fresh thought and get access to new ideas and see things differently and make new choices, and life goes on. So if you don't know what to do, that's okay. Really, it's okay. I've been there, like, I'm basically there on like a monthly basis, which is why when I saw this question come in, I was like, yeah, I can't believe I haven't done a video on this already. And honestly, maybe I even have. Like I said, it's been over a year that I've been doing these videos, so I can't remember all of the dozens of ones I've done, but I feel like this is just so relevant for so many people. And when I saw this question, I was like, yeah, I get it. I'm there all the time. And every time I'm there, it always looks like it's a big deal that I don't know what to do. It always looks like the stakes are really high. My mind's like, this matters so much. Like, you can't get this wrong. And it really tells me that I don't know, and it matters that I don't know, and it's going to be bad, and I need to be serious about it. I need to crunch time. And every time I'm just more and more willing to be like, mind, you've given me this spiel before. I've heard all of this. Thank you very much. But I've heard this before, and in the past, it's never as bad as my mind makes it out to be, ever. Like, literally, there's not one time where the stakes have been as high as my mind says. There's never one time where a mistake was so critical and so crucial and so, like, life-altering that I've really needed to put that pressure and seriousness on myself. And I don't want you to put that pressure or seriousness on yourself either. It's unnecessary. So if you don't know what to do, that's fine. You don't know. You'll get a sense of what's more right. You'll get a sense of the fact that the stakes are not as high as they seem. And ultimately, even if, yeah, it's a mistake and it was the wrong thing for you, oh well. So what? You're resilient, you're strong, and you have access to pure possibilities and potential that it will always give you a fresh start and a do-over. So, hope this was helpful as always. Leave any questions, comments, or requests below. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I put out new videos every Friday. I will be back with you next week. And then taking a week off during the Christmas, New Year kind of, there's a Friday, I believe it's the 27th, that there won't be a video, but there will be a video next Friday. So I will speak with you soon. Take care, be well, and happy decisions. Bye.